Guys, welcome back to another video as we continue on our FiveM journey here to get the Get a Life server back online while showcasing all of the basic installs of the FiveM scripts. Now we will, as always, we'll run through it. This is just a basic install. All of the development of these scripts will be done in a separate video. This is just basically getting them in, showing that they are working, and going through the basic configs so you guys are able to kind of figure out how to develop it on your own. Now we will have a different series that comes up. Once we get all this done, I will be going through the entire server and doing all of the basic setup, which includes all of getting everything online, making simple changes that need to be done, as well as targeting things that we need to make it a more enjoyable server. Some of these scripts are easy to put in, but they have different parts that may not be in the best places, or you may need an MLO, those kinds of things. Those will be scripts that we will probably do the full install and the development at the same time. We have one that I had recently found. We started to do a video and I found out that they had made a bunch of changes to it, and that is the Envi prescriptions script. Reason being is they made it so that you can have the job. They added in, and I'll even show you guys the reason we're going to wait on doing this one. This is what usually happens when you have a script that changes over time from the last time you used it to now. So since the last time I installed this one, they made quite a few adjustments to it. They've added a full medical insurance system to it, and that does allow for someone to be a insurance salesman. They put in the pharmacy supply system now, so there is a pharmacist job that you can have, and you have to do little side quest jobs to get your materials to make the drugs. So there's that too. So that's the thing that I'm looking at, and what we're working on with it. I want to get everything to where you guys can see it. So what I've got to do quickly before I do the showcase on that video is I've got to find the MLO that I want to use for a pharmacy. The only one that I have currently, I don't really like it that well, but we still may end up using it. I just have to locate it. I haven't used it in a while, so we're going to have to get a MLO for that one. So this one will be a later addition. I know I had mentioned it in a prior video, so I kind of wanted to address the elephant in the room on that one to make you guys think that I skipped it or something, which is kind of what I did. I did install it so it works with our ambulance job, but I don't want to showcase it unless I can showcase the pharmacy aspect of it also, so that way you guys can at least see that a player can go in and pull the medication from the pharmacy. So that's the reason I'm going to skip over on this one. We will come back to it. I've just got to find that MLO, and that's not part of the time that I have available for today. I didn't plan on that one, so this was kind of a you figure it out at the end kind of a thing. So it is what it is. But if you guys want this script, I'll go ahead and show it to you here. I'll link Envi with this because we're going to move on to do Chopshop and Sabotage as well, so you'll be able to see but this is the prescription V3. It's not a horrible price on some of theirs. They don't have the option to change it to dollars, but let's see, what is that, $29.99, $29.99, is that pounds? Was that pounds on that? GBP. Finger type GBP to the dollar. So it's like 40 bucks. So it's pound sterling, that's what it is. So $29.99, depending on where you are. If you're in the States, it's roughly $41. I mean, it's not horrible. If it was closer to this price with dollars, would be okay. Unless you absolutely want it, I wouldn't go out of my way to get it. They do have bundles. Let's see if they've got a bundle on some of this stuff while we're here. So you could do. They do have an MLO. What MLO do they use? I think they use Pop's Pills down in the city. Yeah, because that's where it's at. When it loads in, this is the one they use. I've got one that goes in Polito that I use. and there's some that goes into the hospital. So if you use like Oceanside Hospital, if you guys like that one, I do have that MLO. It has a pharmacy there too. So it just depends on what you want to do. I would almost bet you could probably find one of these online. So let's see, Pops, Pills, MLO. Let's just do that. I mean, that's the same one probably. I almost guarantee it. Yeah, same location. Of course, it is a leak, so you know that's the thing with some of this stuff. You got to be careful what you get. But there are other options to use, is what I'm getting at with this. This is on FiveMods. So this one you can pull. It is FiveM ready. So I mean, there is the option to do that. I don't want to use this one. I want to use another one, but you know, just let you guys know there is options for it. If I can't find anything else, I do have this one, but it's one that's on my Keymaster. It's a version of this, so I may end up going with that. But just to let you guys know why we skipped. That's why we skipped this one. But what we're going to do is we're going to move on to, looks like Chopshop is first. So where is it at here? I know it's in here somewhere. Chopshop. Here's Chopshop. Let's see if they made any changes yet. So this is V2. So let's see what they made with V2. The hardcore mode. So you can chop player-owned vehicles for heightened risk and reward. Multiple chop shops and spots. We did do that. You can make more locations. You can make blacklisted vehicles and jobs. So I guess it keeps a cop from going in there and using it, which is, you know, kind of smart considering you don't want a cop to know where the chop shop is, especially if it's an open source one where anybody can use it. Adds realism with police intervention, optional dispatch. So you can add dispatch options for it. Car part rewards, ownable shops with contracts. See, I made this work on my own separately before. I'm glad they added it in. Shop management, so selling, transferring, that's pretty cool. And they added a UI with metadata. Okay. Alright, so let's see what they've got here. Let's see how bad this thing is going to be. So let's look at Chopshop. You just gotta have a basic understanding. Oxlib. Okay. Alright, so Tabix, of course, pull it out, all that crap. Everybody understands that part. Inventory setup is usually the issue with this. So here's your QB. So you're going to have a door, a wheel, a battery, a gearbox, radiator. These are your parts. So they added a few more parts, looks like. And then you have the chop contract. The contract is just basically what you give to somebody, and it allows them to grab the car. It'll tell them what kind of car it is. You know, it'll say an ASBO. And that's the car they bring in. They can chop it up for that contract for whatever the cost is. So that's not bad. There's no crazy amounts of coding on that. Let's see. Is there anything that we need to change? Anti-cheat. I don't think it doesn't show up on our anti-cheat that I know of. Not before. It may. Not saying it won't in the future. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't spawn the cars either. You have to find it. So if you're looking for a specific car, you have to find that car. So that's why it kind of makes it cool to use it as a like a repo job on the front end, and then the back end it can be for, you know, chopping cars. You know, you could do repos and just have random paid cars, and then go out and find one and make it, you know, some of the more, of course, if you drive around you'll see some of the more harder to find cars could be worth more money. So they do show up. It's just when do they show up? So it looks like this one's not going to be a big change on how to install it. Now we do have, just to kind of plan ahead for the video, if you guys are getting these, sabotage is the next one we're going to do. Looks like it's pretty much the same thing. So I won't even need to come back here except for to get these items. Now I'm not 100% sure if they provide the pictures. Let me look on Envi's Discord. Let's see, where is it at? Let's see if they offer. Hey, let's see. No, we don't want your tag. Let's see here. Links, docs, invites. We'll let's go on. Let's look on Chopshop. Let's see if they have an option for pictures. Free products. They have Envi receipts. No, it doesn't appear. They do not provide any type of PNGs. So you're gonna, if it's the same as when I looked at the prescriptions one, you'll have to do your own PNGs. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it does allow you to be a little more creative on your own. So, you know, that's just a heads up on both. So let's get over here. We've already wasted a little bit of time on this. So again, these are pretty simple to install. You just need these parts from the install. Let's go back up here because this is the one we're going to do. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. So that's the props. Okay. Inventory. All right. So we need this. And make sure when you come in, you don't grab the aux. You grab the QB/QS, and I'm pretty sure that's Quasar. All right. Let's get back up here. Alright, so the bridge, you have to unpack the bridge and then put it in. It's drag and drop to wherever you want it to be. I've already installed mine. It's in here. There's the bridge. Again, it's just drag and drop. You don't have to really do anything to it. Okay, now, first thing we're going to do is go down to the old Chopshop, which is right here. And we will get to the prescriptions one. It may be, you know, another video after these. I just have to get in and find a MLO and be ready to do all those changes. That's a lot of extra coding. That's why I may wait till I get ready to do some of the end result stuff, because when we get into doing development, then I'll have to be doing a lot of changing out spots and making maybe polyzones and pulling vectors, and that's something I would rather do at that point. So that one may be a later video, but let's see what we've got here. Let's look at install. Well, there's the readme. I guarantee it's going to be just that link. Yep, so that's the link to the documentation. You've already seen that. So we're going to do install. So you have images. Oh, this one does have images. That's awesome. Sounds for X sound or interact sound, and then you have your items list. So this one actually, I don't really like using that version, but this one here actually came out pretty good. Let's see what's on this readme. So this is how to install your sounds. Okay, so let's just start with this. I can't read that crap. We're not going to use it. Open with Visual Studio Code. I really like this version. Alright, to install and interact sound, all you guys have to do is go to the HTML sounds, basically. And if you have different versions of interact sound, such as QE version, you may also need to add this code into interact sound. So we'll have to do this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the sounds in. So first thing we're going to do is go to our standalone interact sound. I believe it's under client. Yep, client HTML sounds. Now this is just a long list of all the sounds that you're using. So we're going to go in here, and again, if you're using a Windows server, copy and paste. If you're using a panel server or something of that nature, you can drag and drop directly into WinSCP. And these are already there. So it just depends on what you want to do. This is a newer version than probably what's already in there. So we're just going to override it. If you think it's a better sound, you can actually open them up and listen to them. You can always override them. You don't have to. Alright, so there's that part. Now, next thing we're going to do is go back to here. Let's make this a little smaller. Alright, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to go into Interact Sounds Client. So, okay, client. I'm guessing this one. Let's see. Yeah, okay. And we'll just put this down near the bottom. Alright, pretty simple on that one. So we'll just copy that. and then we'll go down to the bottom. And always keep an eye out for where the way stuff is made. You don't necessarily have to put it at the end. If you think that the syntax is a specific way, then you can stick them in the middle. Sometimes it'll tell you exactly where to put it. It'll say, you know, go down to this part and look for this and put it there. But this one here, that's pretty much going to handle that. You just drop it in at the bottom. Make sure you keep your syntax the same. So they had a space between everyone, you put a space between everyone. Make sure everything looks the same. Alright, so we're going to save this. Alright, you see it grabbed it. Now we're going to close it. Now this one here goes onto the server side. So server, main Lua, and these are net events. So just kind of look at what you've got and then go back and see what you have. So we're going to copy this, and then you can just drop it in. Doesn't really matter on these where you put them, because they're all basically the same thing. So you can put it in here, or you can put it in at the bottom. I usually stick my stuff at the bottom. Now you can drop another space in if you wanted to, and tab out and put in what it's for. You can put Envi Chopshop if you wanted to. That way you know what's what. And actually that's not a bad idea. I may go back and do it to the other one. I usually do it on everything. I'm just really big on, if I mess up or something is a problem later, I know what to do to fix it. So we'll go down. Oh, shop. Look at me. There. Close enough. Save that. Close that. Alright, so that takes care of these. These are really, this is some of the easiest file adjustments I've seen. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now, items. So items go where? They go into QBCore. Back one more. QBCore, shared, and then items. Before we do that, let's open this up. Crap. Why is it like that? It is. Alright, so here is the items. So we're going to grab these. Because you've got QBCore and aux. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to close this. Open. Up. Alright, so if you have them, I don't know how you guys are with your keeping stuff organized or whatever. If you have certain stuff in certain spots, you know, that's how you want to do it. Me, on this one, I haven't really gotten too much separated out. I usually try to keep the drugs in one place and the food in another, you know, that kind of stuff. Job stuff together. So this one is Envi Chopshop. Probably should have made that bigger so I can see it. I always try to make stuff capital when I can, because I never know if I'm going to be tweaking this stuff on my computer or my laptop or a Chromebook. I use both, well, all three, and I never know which one I'm going to be using, so I always try to make some of this stuff bigger so I can see it better. Alright, I put one too many spaces here. Alright, everything looks good. I mean, you can drag this back if you want. If you guys want to be really anal about it, you can make all this stuff exact, but you don't have to. Now, what you can do, if you want to do development really nice, you can go in here at the end and tell what all this stuff is, so that way when we hover over it, it tells you what's what. You don't necessarily have to, though. That's up to you. Me, I usually go back and mess around with this stuff later. So that's basically putting in your item, getting that going. Now, close this, and now we got to do, since it does have images, we'll take care of that. So your images go into inventory, HTML, images. We're going to grab them all, and again, if you have Windows, copy and paste. Alright, so there's that. So that's all of your basic stuff. So all of the items and things of that nature. Now your next thing you'll want to do is go into your shared config just to look, make sure everything is what it's supposed to be. You know, you can set it to open all doors when you start to chop or not. If you have this script, you know, turn it on or off, whatever your situation is. It's got a cooldown rate of 30 minutes. I think that's, I mean, really, it takes like 15 minutes to do it, and then you got to go find another one. So I usually turn mine down to 15, depending on how often people use it. If it starts being an issue where people are taking advantage, turn it up. Chop contract just allows you to change stuff, and you can add as many as you need. LS Customs, I'm pretty sure this is the one over behind the PD near Muir Park, the one under the bridge. There's one in Sandy. This one is, let's see, where was that one at? Cannot remember off the top of my head where that one is. But I think they have blips on them. If not, we can find them. It's not a big deal. I'll show you how to do that if I have to. So these just allows you to change everything. You see the cops online. So if you want them to be able to have a cop online to chop, you know, that's one thing you can do. You can turn on hardcore mode. Read this stuff before you do it. Don't just do it. I'm not going to do it right off the rip. I'll do it as we move along. I usually use some of this stuff for when we get more people in. Volume, if it's too loud or not. Car multipliers. Here's your rewards. You can give them crypto sticks or anything else you want to put on there. This is the extra item that comes out of the parts as they're cutting them off. There's your items. You can add more items if you wanted to. I don't recommend it. Here's your props. So there's an impact driver and a chop saw on the floor. Okay, blacklist the vehicle. So if you have got more cop cars, you add them in there. And these are the ones that it starts out with. Okay, and these are your damage. So the more damage it takes away from it. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is just going through and reading it, making changes you think you need to. You know, if you have different language for stuff or whatever, you can do that. Some people change the language and make it something like a smart-ass comment or something, which is fine if that's what you want. Alright, so we're going to save this, especially if it's the chopping end. So we're going to close that. Alright, looks like everything is ready on this one. So we just got to figure out where it's going to go. So basically, once you get it ready to go, this is a chop shop, so guess what? It's a crime thing, so we're going to drag it right here. Technically, it can be a job. Depends on how you want to look at it. Okay, it's drag and dropped in. Always back out just in case you hit the wrong button. Now, as always, we're going to drop down here. And let me grab TXadmin. Alright, we'll log in. Go to Live Console. Of course, Wasabi Bridge is still giving me hell. We're going to leave that big for now. And we're just going to boot this thing over. And again, guys, these are no edit videos, so don't come at me over. If I mess up, you see it. If something's wrong, you see it. Yep. And while we're waiting on this to get going, and while we're waiting on getting ready to wait on FiveM to load, if you guys haven't done so already, please smash the like button. Leave a comment below. It does. Those two things do help with our channel development, and getting our stuff out there with it. Crazy YouTube algorithm stuff. That's the only thing we kind of like, is if you guys can do those things for us. It does help out. If you've been with us this far, go ahead and you can hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you know as we continue to load more and more and more videos. I'm looking at over 200 at the moment. Probably before done, we'll probably be anywhere between 300 and 500 videos. Just getting this server online and showcasing all of the scripts that I have in my Keymaster, as well as some other things that we're going to do. I've got a lot of videos planned out as it is, so follow along. And like I said, the like and the comment is what helps us the most. If you guys want to subscribe, that does let us know that people's at least paying attention. And the bell's just for you. And if you're that far in, or you need some help, or you want to get involved with helping us out, helping us find more ideas, more scripts, whatever, or you just want to be able to see the end result, jump into the Discords. They are linked in the channel. We have the Reckless Development, which is the lead channel for the entire projects, all of them. That's where our base is. Then we have the main server for Get a Life, as well as No Filter Nation, which is our podcast channel that's coming up. I'm still working on the last little bit of coding and tweaking of all of the overlays and getting all the channels lined up. So we will be dropping some videos here in the next few days, and then we'll be going live with the podcast after that. And we ask you guys, if you want to check that out, go ahead and jump into the Discord with that. You can be part of the conversation, help us decide what we're doing, give us ideas. We have plenty of channels we're going to put in for gaming, news, pop culture, the whole 9 yards, so you guys are able to be part of that discussion. And that looks like a doctor just fell over. That's weird. Tell me that's not the pharmacy dude standing in the freaking road.
You've gone too far.
Oh. Hey, Doc. Damn, Doc got skills. Yeah, I think it was. It said oh yeah, I see it. Check this out. This is weird, because I've got the pharmacy in because I'm working on it, and once I get it going with the MLO behind us, or wherever I decide to put it, I'm going to show you guys the end result with the showcase on it, and teaching you how to set it up. But if you look at the log down here, you can see Pharmacy Ped 1 is too far from spawn location, respawning. So he spawned out in the street for some crazy reason, and then the system realized it, and it's still throwing him somewhere else. So that script has really got some issues. I wonder where he's at now. That is insane. Over there. Look at that. So I need to get with Envi on this. This script is losing its mind. Let's see what it does if it does it again. I'm going to kill him. He's over here on the side. I found him on the side of the street over here. So let's see. It's respawning Ped 1 for pharmacy again. Let's see what he does this time. Yep, there he is again. So it's spawning him in way too far away. So let's do this. I need to video this. I'm gonna send it to Envi. See if he reloads over there. There it goes. I've seen it flash. What in the world? There he is. So yeah, I need to get with Envi on this script. So I will update you guys on this. I want to see how many just popped him again. There he goes. Let's see if he loads back in over here. He was right there before. It says on the, there he is. That's insane. Okay. So this is where it's supposed to be. You can see, if you go over to the side, you will see the third eye points inside of the building. He's not loading correctly. There he is. Alright, I got that clip. I will send that to Envi, and then I'm glad I didn't get this completely done yet, because I didn't want it to give you guys any issues. So let's do this. Let's jump over here. I want to show you guys where the chop shop's supposed to be. So it looks like they didn't mark it, unless they put it somewhere else. Let's see. It was at the other one. So let's see if we put it into another one of these LS Customs buildings. So I don't see it down here either. So the one that it was in before is right, where are we at? There's MRPD, so it's down here. Let's see what happens. Should be right here. If it's here, there'll be parts in the floor. Yep. So here is, there's your impact on the ground, and there's your chop saw. So I wonder what's up here. If there's any kind of things in here. Okay, I see some marks on the floor. Usually there's stuff here when you're doing. Here we go. E. You can purchase it from here for 100,000. See what's down here. Probably died across this. So, all right. So that's where your parts drop is. So, what I'm going to do is just spawn a car. What's in the shop? Let's see what's in the list. Shared. Config. Where's the cars at? There they are. Let's do one of the good ones. Let's pick one. Let's do a, I don't know. Let's do this one. Okay. Back here. Okay, there's the car. We'll pull it in. I always say pull up far enough where where the door will close. You hit E. Alright, nice job. Now you need to remove some parts. So what we need to do, I think the first thing we have to do is, let me pick up this stupid tool. Where you go? Let's see, what did it say? I think it's a chop, maybe you gotta do first. Yep. Get the buzz saw. Alright, so you walk over here. It's kind of weird when it does it. Watch his feet. Missed it. Chop truck, watch his feet. I'll start watching him kind of wiggle back and forth. Okay. Now let's get on the tires. Okay, so what you do is, I think it was X to drop it. Yep. So you just throw your hands up, he drops the part. And then you can pick up, used to you could do it out of order. I guess they changed the order on it. Pick up the gun. Go back here. Take off his wheel. One. And again, I'm not showcasing all of the items. It's just what you can do. I just want to show you guys that it's functional, and we will do a full development of it in a separate video when I do the chop shop and setting up all the jobs and things. But it does work really good, especially the part where you can tow the cars. If you got if you got a tow truck, man, you can back up and just grab these cars like crazy, and you can play Repo Man. All right, so now that you've done that, I always say put your stuff back where they're supposed to be, because you can find them. And it's going to tell you disconnect the battery, remove battery. Okay, now you take it to the trolley, is what they call it. You take it over here. It's actually a creeper. But there's that. Let's get that radiator out. Now, even if you run it as a job, you do the same things. Remove the scrap. Okay, take the scrap over here. Drop it. Now you take the gearbox out. Never seen anybody run that fast with a transmission in their hands before. Just say go to the desk. You said go up here, didn't you? There you go, $1,600. I mean, in reality, you can adjust it for other things, but it's pretty good. It does take a few minutes to. Yep, they actually increased the amount. How faster it is to get rid of it. It used to hang out for a bit, but you do get some stuff with it. You get a crypto stick, some steel, copper, metal scrap. I think that's aluminum. So I mean, you do get a few things with it. So it does do that. But you can set up the job to where you can own the chop shop. You can create your own contracts. So it does give you a lot of functionality with being developable, so you can make it into separate jobs. You could have a chop shop. You could use it as a repo deal where they repo the cars. You could also put contracts out on people's cars and they're scrapped. They're scrapped out. The thing about them is, you don't. I mean, with custom cars, if it's one they got out of the dealership, it's not so bad. But ones that people pay for, that's the thing. You might want to put a time limit on it. I always say if you do it with cars that someone owns, make them do a police report. Put that police report through Discord, and then they can file an insurance claim on it or something, and have to pay a deductible to get their car back. And then maybe to make it an admin job where they own the insurance or something. There's a lot of ways you can work around with this. So that's this script here. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I like it. It's really good. You just have to have a little bit of creativity on how you use it. As far as the job and setting all that up, that will be in our development stage. So there will be another video on this one, along with some other items we're going to do. As always, I'll link the script in the video description, and you'll be able to grab it up if you want. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. We actually ask if you can comment and like the video, so it helps get us with the channel development, just pushing it out. And again, if you guys like this one, we'll be back here in the next little bit, probably today, to drop the next one for the sabotage, and we'll end up, eventually I'll get to the prescriptions one. I just got to do a little bit more work with getting it ready to go. I want you guys to have a firm idea of what goes into that one because you have to have an MLO. So, and I'll make one. If I have one that's open source, I'll make it available. But that's it for this one, guys. Again, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you guys know when we're live, when we're throwing up more videos, and get into Discord so you can be part of the discussion with the podcast, what videos we're making, what games we're playing, what we're showcasing. And, you know, keep an eye out. We should have another one up here pretty quick with the rest of this Envi. And thanks for hanging out, guys. You have a great day.